Hey guys, I'm Roget and this is my rant. We believe in the diversity of thought here on this channel. These are just ideas worth sharing. They're not meant to be concrete advice, so always make sure you do your own research when you're listening to anyone on the platform, including me. So today's topic, we're going to be talking about turning the big 3-0. I know. All of the older people that are like, oh, that's nothing in my day, but, I'm going to share some of my life experience, and it's a big age for a lot of people, and I've been seeing videos on it lately, and I want to give my 2 cents. So if you like philosophical or life topics like this, and maybe some of my experience can help someone. So I really appreciate all the love and support on the channel, and I'm really appreciative, and I'm very grateful for the small community that we do have here, where we can share our ideas, post funny comments, like the video, all that type of stuff. So if you like variety content like this, and if you're new here, welcome. Most of these videos are very unscripted and rant-ish, but sometimes I have some notes to work off of. So if you like that, hit that subscribe button. It's free, and that notification bell. It might work, it might not. All right, getting into it. So about turning 30. Now, this is a pivotal age for a lot of people because it depends on how much you either maybe wasted time or the lessons you learned in your 20s and then leading up to now. I recently just turned 30 myself, so I wanted to give my 2 cents on the subject matter. Now, that being said, yeah, sure, maybe I haven't achieved what I thought I might, but I'm definitely a lot better off than I used to be. I struggle with a mental illness, but I treat it very well with many different things, and that helps and stuff like that. And that sets me up for future success. And then sometimes people they don't have the relationship success they want, or they don't have the monetary or the career success, and they're like, oh, I thought I was supposed to have everything figured out by 30. Some people, they start over when they're 40, 50, it all depends. The trades are for some people, but then for me, I did my research, and then there's a lot of cons that I'm not really sure I want to, deal with. So it all depends on what you want to do. So it's like, so now that you're 30, well, if you're watching this video and you're in your 20s, this might, maybe learning some of this now can help you in your 20s, or if you're in your 30s, then great, like stick around. So now that you're 30, you have some wisdom and life experience, you have a little bit more knowledge, and sometimes people might take you a little bit more seriously, like, oh, interesting, what do you have to say? Oh, good contribution. Sometimes if you're in a meeting and you're in your early to mid-20s or something like that, they're like, you haven't seen anything yet. We don't have to take you seriously. But now that you have some life experience, you can do better in your 30s. And for men, your prime is in your 30s. Your body's never going to perform as well as it does now. Yeah, sure, your metabolism might be a little slower and stuff like that, but you can still put on muscle. Your metabolism is still good. If you destroyed your bodies in your 20s and now you're 30 or you're 31 or 32, you still have time on your side where you have the opportunity to get back in shape. I'm trying to get back in shape, so I've lost about 20 pounds, but not a ton about me at that topic. But you still have a lot of time on your side, and you still have the energy, right? So if you work a 9 to 5 that you don't like, or you really don't like it, or you kind of do, you can always put energy when you have it into the things that make you happy. Me personally, I really enjoy making these videos for you guys. I talk about topics that I want to talk about. I enjoy listening to my music on CDs, vinyl, cassette tapes, and writing my own lyrics and showing them to people and see what they think. And I like helping people. I'm part of a support group, and right now I'm chairing that support group. So I feel like I'm helping and providing service and to people who are early on in their kind of support group mental health journey, because everyone deals with mental health. But maybe now that maybe you got a breakup or two out of the way, from like, you know, a girl who cheated on you. Like me personally, like I had a girl who cheated on me. And, you know, as soon as I found out, you know, a couple of days later, I just ended it right there. I broke up with her, and it, you know, it was civil and amicable and, you know, whatever you want to call it. It's like, there's no hate, you know, everybody makes mistakes, and, you know, she made a decision and I made the next decision. So, maybe you've been through a couple breakups or like a couple of these relationships. You now know that, oh man, you know, the intimate time was really good, but dealing with a lot of, you know, it was nice to have the companionship, but, you know, some of her family didn't like me, or, you know, I had to help more than I could be helped when I needed help. Stuff like that. You can, now that you have that previous experience with that, any relationship really, you can decide how you want to spend your time. Me personally, sometimes in the past, I neglected my own health to help others. But, you know, my grandfather always used to tell me that, you know, like, if you can't take care of yourself, how do you expect to take care of others? And you got to look out for your self-interest sometimes. Like, you can be selfless sometimes, but you got to be selfish other times. Well, like, you know, I was invited to hang out with a couple people recently, and I was like, oh, you know, they're going to be smoking there, and I don't want to be in that type of environment. I'm doing really well. So I separated myself, and I was like, you know, I'll do something else. And like my sanity is more important than, you know, spending. I can find other people to spend time with, and soon you will see that. Like you will have a little bit more wisdom. And then another thing, going to the financial side, you know, now even though you're getting older and you're like, oh, you know, I don't have my life figured out yet. Like I don't have a career I'm happy with. Like I'm not with my potential life partner, or like I'm not married, or I don't have kids. Like, well, let's remember the marriage divorce statistic. Just remember that. And, you know, there's nothing wrong with having multiple long-term relationships throughout your life. So the financial thing is probably different for you. Now that you're 30, 31, 32, or even 28, 29, you're probably doing better than you were in your early 20s when you were either a broke college student still living with your folks. And there's nothing wrong with living with your folks. If you need to move back home to save more money and get out of debt, you know, that's fine. You know, me personally, I don't have a ton of debt. I have some debt, but I don't have a ton of debt. So you're probably in a better financial situation, and that now that you're making a little extra money and you've actually learned a thing or two because you watch this channel, and you also watch the finfluencers I talked about in the previous video, now you have a little bit more extra money to put in places that can grow it for you. You're in a better situation. So, I feel like, you know, sometimes I feel like a loser, right? Like I think everybody does, but I'm better off than I was a few years ago. But turning 30, it's kind of like a new chapter. Like now, like as you age, you know, you kind of, men age like fine wine, right? So you have more of that. You may be more worldly. You may have traveled. You may have more life experience. You may have a little wisdom. I was wise beyond my years throughout my whole 20s. People kept telling me that and stuff like that, and I believed it. But of course, I made a lot of dumb mistakes. In your 20s, you make dumb mistakes. So it's not all bad. That's a little bit about me from my life. And yeah, like everybody has something, right? Some people have diabetes. Some people have a mental condition. And I think you have to be a little weird to make videos on YouTube. All right, guys. If I missed anything, I'll make a part 2. Let me know in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear what you have to say. And if you didn't like the video, you know what to do. I'm not going to scream this time, but have a great rest of the day. I'll see you next time.